All right. You know, we got into this business, scuba diving, right? So my business partner and I were working at General Motors. We were looking for fun stuff. We got into scuba diving. We got real serious. I mean, we did rescue diving. We did the dive instructor, assistant instructor, and we were lobster diving and trying to find a better way to hold on to our flashlights, right? And that's how we started this company. And we got into the dive industry, and it was fun because we're into diving, right? It was totally different than making cars or working on car systems, which were a lot of fun, right? Well, as soon as, and I told people, like, there's people that go, like, what you're doing, I'm into fishing, right? I'm going to make it my job, right? Well, as soon as it becomes your job, it becomes your job. It's not the fun of it, right? We're in a lot of industries. We sell to the trucking industry, the industrial safety for drop tools, the military, the law enforcement, the fire, outdoors. And we started our second industry. Our second and third industry was both fire and fly fishing, and followed by trucking. But when you went to the fly show, and it's the same as the you go to the ICAST show, right? You're dealing with, and same thing with scuba. You're dealing with people that are there because it's their passion, you know, and it's just you said it was a great group of people, right? And the fishing community is. I mean, if you're dealing on the business side, business can always get convoluted, right? But when you're dealing with the people that are actually doing it, it's and the fly show is a small show, and that industry has struggled for years, but half of the show is just people bullshitting about fly fishing, and it's fun to be with. Now, we make more money in the fire industry than we do in the fly fishing industry, but our product is is really solidified there, just like in the scuba, and people are buying it because it holds up and they love it, and it's fun dealing with those people. And when you deal with people that are doing it for their passion, there's just so much excitement about it, and appreciation if you can make their fishing better. On our product, it was always the challenge of teaching people that they have a problem, right? You have a problem holding onto your gear or dropping your gear. And so, in fly fishing, they always use the little for zingers, right? But we came out with something for a net, for a waiting staff. And our challenge is always how do you, first of all, you got to tell people they got a problem, and then here's the solution. So you are doing the same thing as we're uncovering new ground, and you got to show people and get them the point that they got a problem. But I was having Scotty and his buddies testing products, tasting our fly fishing products for kayak fishing, and it's the same thing. Letting kayak fishing people know that, oh, I do have a problem. If it's not tethered, I'm going to lose it. If it's a Rasmus, I'm going to lose it. And Scotty said, you need to link up with this guy. This is the best bait tank for kayak fishing. And all of those guys were making their own thing. I have a buddy that made his own PVC tube and all this stuff, And this guy's like, this just solves all the problems. And he is one of these minimalists, right? I mean, the guy still drives a 30-year-old Tundra until it just got total, right? And he does not like frills. He does not like technology. He's very accomplished marketing person. I mean, he deals with promoting products at racing, and whether it's NASCAR or different things like that. But when it comes to his hunting and fishing, I mean, that is his life now. Um, Aside from working, but I mean, every season he's into different things, whether it's out tuna fishing or hunting ducks or hunting, big game, and kayak fishing is one of them. But he's a real minimalist, and when he finds something, he's like, this solves my problem. This is the way to go. Now, how do you get that message out to everybody in the world, right? And so we probably talked about this before. When I started was way before you, and it was a book on guerrilla marketing. You don't have the money that Coca-Cola has to bombard ads at the Super Bowl to tell people about your product, right? I did exactly what you're doing. You went to the Tennessee fishing show. I would go to Bob Marriott's fly fishing show or to a fly fishing show up in Washington. And I'd sit there on a weekend and have my stuff on me and peddle it for a dealer. And you get one person to know about it, and then they talk to other people, and it's a grueling, long process. Now we have, yeah, yeah. And there is no easy way. If it was easy, everybody would do it, And why do 95% of the companies fold after a year, right? Because you think that I got this great product, there's 100,000 people are going to buy it. But if you take that money and get out to 100,000 people, you're going to go out of business before you even make a dime, right? So you go the slow route, and it's like the hare and the rabbit and the turtle, right? Just pounding away. Now we have social media, but both of us are small time. I was just before this, I was just on a call with FLIR, who's a big thermal company. We do them for thermal cameras for firefighters. I mean, that's where our business is. But the kayak fishing is a passion. And I think it can get to the same place that, or bigger than what fly fishing is for us. But we are in the same boat you are, where we're going to educate people that, if you don't tether your gear, you're going to lose it, and you want inconvenience. And if you use strings, you got a rat's nest. And it's like talking with Scotty, who was my go-to kayak fishing person. He sends me a text. And he goes, "The interesting thing about your product is you have to have the two sides connected." So a buddy of his was, had a rod leash on, but didn't have it connected, and a sea lion came up to him and bumped his boat, and he flipped over, right off the coast, lost his rod. It's like you got to have things connected. But anyways, I mean, it's getting that story out is the challenge. Well, if it's in your pocket, that's fine, but in a kayak, if you have a string attached to it, do the same thing ours does with prevent the loss, right? But you got this rat's nest of stuff. So it's a matter of keeping it convenient, easy to use, and prevent loss. Just like your bait shark. I mean, yeah, I can have a PVC thing hanging there, but then it's always in the way, and it's not getting the flow, and it's not easy access. And really, here's a message for people. Amazon, you got to look at who is the seller of your product on Amazon. you know um and companies are trying to get it to they're not letting their dealers or other people sell their product. We want our product to be on there. Eventually it's going to be on there, sourced by Gearkeeper, right? Because other people buy it and they never look at who it's coming from, right? Well, it's China counterfeits products. They put their name on it. They put it on Amazon under your ad, right? And yes, can you do transparency and serialize your product and things like that? Well, if you're Louis Vuitton selling a $500 product, yes. If you're selling a $20 product, how do you go to all the expense of like, oh, I got to serialize every product or do this or do that? Um, and it's kind of like buyer beware, is that, if you're buying on eBay or if you're buying on Amazon or, Walmart or any of these places, right? Who is the seller? You know, CMYK best deals, right? Who the hell is that? And who's going to look into it? And then, oh, I can get this, but it's more expensive coming from Gearkeeper because this other guy is actually selling a counterfeit product. And uh, as soon as you start getting traction on your product, you're going to have that same stuff, and basic. What a consumer doesn't realize if they haven't been on this side of the platform is, looking at deals and where to get stuff. And, Temu is a direct thing from China, right? And you look at these counterfeit products, and there's, like our attorney has said, okay, we got to register your trademark with customs, right? So products are coming in. Well, they're not coming in on a container. China is shipping them right through U.S. mail, and and not to get into politics, there was a thing about stopping that loophole, and then they opened it up again. I love the fact that it was being stopped, but then someone would say, "Oh, I'm buying this product on Temu or Amazon, and now the shipping is more, or the duties are more than the product, right?" Well, that's because they're coming in through this side channel where they're not getting the duties, they're not getting checked by customs. And so even though customs knows about Gearkeeper and they're going to look for it, it's not coming in that way. It's someone shipping it right through the U.S. Postal Service, coming direct into the U.S. and going right to the consumer. And then we find out about it when we get a call and say, "Hey, this thing broke." "Oh, really? How old is it?" "Well, it's only like, a month." Well, that's not right. We stand behind our product. Now we start looking at it and go, "Yeah, this isn't our product. It says Gearkeeper. The package says made in USA, but it's counterfeit." And we deal with a lot of companies, in the law enforcement and fire industry. We deal with Streamlight, a really high-end flashlight company. And guys like, "Yeah, we got these things. I look at it. It looks like our product, but we look closer and a direct, it's not a copy, it's a counterfeit." And my wife asked me, "Well, what's the difference?" Right? Well, people copy our product all the time, and make it crummy, but they're not using our trademark, they're not using our exact design. They copy a lot of features of it. But a counterfeit, they use your name. It's a look it if To the untrained eye, it looks like our product, you know. Uh, I'm hoping that those loopholes get changed, and now with you're at the point of starting out that you can watch for this stuff and be ahead of it. We just got blindsided with it. But if you sell them a product, you need to stand behind it. The old days of customer service, right? We're not just selling you a product and then, "Oh, you have a problem? Well, SOL, uh, you can buy better, but you'll never spend more." It was kind of opposite of what it is that, we sell a quality product for a fair price and we stand behind it. And when someone has a problem, they can not only email you, but they can call you, you know. And that whole thing is that whole concept is left. It's like, oh, all you need is an AI chat bot, and all you need is email. And if you want to call us, here's our number, but you're going to go through 15 minutes of painstaking bullshit to try to get someone on the line. And I hope companies are figuring that out. I mean, yeah, let's do this again. And one thing I want to leave you with that I never brought up is that you run your company on the same philosophy that we do. And we had one of our customers copy our product a long time ago and still sell ours. And it was all about, I want to make more money, right? And my partner and I said to ourselves that, at the end of the day, at the end of this journey, right, we might not be a Hewlett Packard, right? But when we leave our company, people are going to say, "You know what? They were a straight shooter. They never screwed people." And yeah, we're not going to be one of these gazillionaires, right? We're just trying to make a living, make it to retirement, raise our kids, get them educated. Same thing that our parents did, right? But at the end of the day, no one's going to say, hopefully, that, "Oh, yeah, they cheated me."